Good evening, warriors. Welcome to MH Warrior TV. I'm your host for tonight, Adam Duval, the mental health warrior. And tonight, we've only got one question for you. What is your purpose in life? Now, that's what exactly we're going to be discussing tonight. Me and my wonderful guest, who's excited to come on tonight. Which she's like one of the first to actually say that, because normally people are nervous. But hey, what do you expect? They're with me. No, I'm not joking. But please share this in awareness. I know we are live on multiple platforms, more than just YouTube and Facebook. We're on LinkedIn, we're on Twitter, we're everywhere. So please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Follow us on Facebook as the Mental Health Warriors. You know what to do. We will see you in 30 seconds with our wonderful guests. Annette, please don't kill me if I get this wrong. Annette Chiappe.
Chiappe, that's correct.
Oh, I got it in one. Oh, look it.
Congratulations.
I bet not many do that, do they? They don't get it right.
Often more get it wrong than they get it right.
Oh, brilliant. Right. We've already got my beautiful wife. She's in the comments. Evening to you as well. We've got a Facebook user as well. Yeah. Right. First of all, I just need to put the banners and that on because I'm already getting shouted at by my wife. All right. There you go. Sorry about that. This is what I mean. I haven't been on all week.
Oh,
but
wow.
Anyway, we've got a Facebook user saying hello with a smiley face. Now, I believe someone is saying that in the Facebook group. So we always say that if you're tuning in and you're on the Facebook group, it'll come up Facebook user. So can we please identify ourselves? Because, yeah, who knows? But we've got one of your followers tuning in. We've got Patty Smith.
Yes, she's my transformational coach.
Okay. Brilliant. And okay, it's our fellow warrior, Claire Wilding, who did an absolute awesome job earlier. Now, Annette Chiappe, this is your very first time on Mental Health Warriors. Yes, it is. Obviously, you've been following us for some time, but I'm going to throw some quick fire questions at you, and then we'll dive right into it. How about that?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. So I'm going to say, do you prefer rain or snow?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Rain, like rain, the weather, rain or snow?
Oh, snow. We just got I don't know if you use metric or imperial in England, but we got about 15, 20 centimeters here last night.
Wow.
And it was heavy stuff. So it's very beautiful. I'm an avid snowshoer and I love it.
I'm jealous because I'm all over Facebook. I'm seeing everyone that's got snow. UK's got rain.
Yeah.
We've not had snow yet.
No, I love our Canadian winters. It's absolutely gorgeous here.
Rub it in, Annette. Rub it in.
Well, it's great for my mental health being out in the nature.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So are you a night owl or an early bird?
I am an early bird. I go to bed early and I get up early. As a matter of fact, I was up at 4:00 this morning.
Wow. We've also got one of your other followers, Elizabeth Jean Gagnon, tuning in.
Yes. Elizabeth and I have been doing some interviews quite a bit. I go on her Miss Liz Tea Talk from time to time. And great supporter of people who are entrepreneurs and soulpreneurs.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I've been keeping an eye on that show. It's really good.
Yes, it is.
And obviously Elizabeth was recently on this show.
Yes, she was.
She was, yes.
Yeah.
And next one, I'm going to say cat or dog.
Me, oh my God, I love cats. And just recently I've learned to love dogs since I had, some skirmishes with dogs. So it took a lot of courage to build up loving dogs. But now I'd say I'm about 50-50.
Oh, right. Okay. And then, you know what? I'm going to say the final one. One of my partner's very favorite question.
Yeah.
Does pineapple belong on pizzas?
If you like it.
Do you?
I really don't have an opinion one way or the other, because if it's on there, I'll eat it. If it's not, I'm fine too. That's a funny question.
Kerry, I think we need to swap. I'm joking. I hate pineapple. I can't stand it.
Oh no. I do love the fruit, so that's why if somebody were to order pizza and it's on there, I would eat it. Yeah.
No.
It's good on ham.
Anyway, I don't even like ham either. But anyway, enough about pizzas. Patty just said, yes, pineapple is always on my pizza. Yeah. Yeah. Kerry's saying, love pineapple. Elizabeth saying, pineapple are good, but for pizza, no.
Well, I learned something new about my friends.
Richard has haggis on the pizza now. That is something I've never tried. Ayo. But anyway, on to the show. Right. Before we actually get on to your purpose, what is your purpose? I want to take you right back to before, like when you was growing up. So I want to know a little bit about who Annette is, where you're streaming from, stuff like that.
Sure. Well, I am streaming from New Lowell, Ontario, which is about half an hour. Oh God, I'm bad at directions. West of Barrie, Ontario, Barrie, Ontario is about 30 minutes north of Toronto, Ontario. So I'm not in the boondocks, but I am close to our wonderful long freshwater beach of Wasaga Beach. And it's the longest freshwater beach in the world. So I'm like a 20-minute drive from there, and I get to enjoy that. But New Lowell is like a small population of, 1,500 people maybe. Yeah. And I grew up in Toronto, basically. I was adopted at a very young age, and my parents brought me to Toronto. And so that was exciting in itself, growing up in a big city. But then when it started to get too violent, I decided to move to Barrie. And then from Barrie, it took me, I met the love of my life in Barrie, and that brought me to New Lowell. And I live with my two wonderful men, my father-in-law and my partner. And life could not be better since I've done all my learning to love myself.
Oh, brilliant. So, you picked on something there, and if you don't want to talk about it, that's absolutely fine. I want to talk about how you were before you got adopted, if that's okay.
Oh, sure. I can tell you that, first of all, I was so young that it really didn't affect me. I was only 7 weeks when I was adopted. Right. So my biological parents, I actually went back when I was 26 years of age. I went and found them and discovered I had a huge family. I have Métis background and Norwegian in me, and met my parents and some of my siblings. I have 13 half brothers and sisters, and it was an incredible journey. So my adoption wasn't part of anything to do with I can clearly say that it didn't have anything to do with abandonment issues or anything. I was actually very grateful for them giving me up. It gave me the experiences I have in life. So, you know, that I can say was a blessing in disguise. And I really enjoyed meeting my biological family.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So, for the viewers that don't know, I want to know, because obviously you was raised in the system, and obviously I've got a daughter that's in the system with no fault of mine either. What's the percentage of children actually grow up and start going looking for their biological parents? Do you know?
Well, from my own personal experience, it has been sort of 50-50, because I've had friends and family members that have gone and looked for their biological parents. Okay. And then I also have the same, which haven't. They've had no need to. So I really don't know a proper like fixed statistic of that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's not, I followed my journey through learning to love myself by accepting the past a lot. So being adopted, I didn't feel the need to actually go back and say, oh, well, let's research this, how many people would actually go back and look for their biological parents. I think it is high, though. You know, a lot of people want to know. I did it specifically because I was on my my third pregnancy with my son. And I wanted to know the medical history of my biological family, so I could, you know, see if there was cancer in the family and see if there were mental health issues in the family and stuff like that.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, yeah. So how was you like going through the education?
Education, like as schooling?
Yeah. How was you?
Schooling was tough for me. I was one of those young women undiagnosed with PTSD that struggled a lot with my self-image. So the first man I met, so schooling became, I was really good at school. Like I loved it with a passion, but I always had this very low self-esteem. So I went through school with being afraid of the teachers, afraid of the students. And I kept pretty much to myself because I had a lot of insecurities. So schooling was a tough situation for me that was very much one of those areas of my life that needed a lot of attention to detail. Because I didn't finish my schooling. Like here in Canada, you go through, back then, I'm 55. So back when
you don't look it.
Thank you. Back when I was 16, 17, it was of the generation where, my mother tried to always instill in me, don't quit school, don't marry the first boy you meet, blah, blah, blah. Well, of course, didn't listen to that. But, you know, I didn't finish my grade 12. So you can go on to grade 13 in Canada. And, well, I only finished my grade 10. And so I, you know, dropped out of school, pursued life, marriage, children, family. And I didn't go back until 2014 to get my grade 12. And that was a huge, very soul satisfying thing to do, right? And then my adoptive mom, who had passed away many, many years before that, I could hear her, you know, I could hear her say, congratulations, good for you, I'm so happy. And it made me proud. Yeah. So schooling was a very interesting time in my life for the fact that I was a loner, and but I was good at it, and I loved it. Yeah, that's a great question.
Hey, isn't it always? As people say, I bring the best out in people. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't usually touch a lot on my younger years about schooling, and talking about different areas of your life sort of opens doors for me to explore again, because there might be a little bit of healing there that I might need.
Who knows? Who knows? Hey, we're always healing. We always are.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, see, here in the UK, we don't understand like grade 2 to 10, 13. We don't understand that. We don't. We got years. Well.
Oh, you do, eh?
Yeah. We've got up to, for reception, we're up to year, I think it's like 13.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, it's interesting how the different schooling systems work.
Don't get me started.
I'm not big on the school system. I don't think it's the best for our mental health here.
Okay. Why do you say that? Why do you say that?
Because through my journey of what I've been through, I started to understand that it's more of a system than it is educational. Like when I went back to school in 2014, they were teaching us life skills, how to manage money.
Yeah.
They were teaching us, our different personalities. They were teaching us how to manage a household. Well, when I was in high school, way back when I was 16, none of that was on the table to learn, right? You didn't learn self skills that would be important to survive in an adult life, right?
No.
So I thought, geez, why don't they have that kind of stuff here? That would be great for people's self-esteem, self-confidence, awareness, and be able to progress in life, having that knowledge, right?
Yeah.
So I think I think the education system here does its best from the structure they built from so long ago, but it needs an overhaul.
Well, obviously, I've stressed this enough, and I can't stress it even more. But our late friend Philip Chan, who sadly passed away last year, he says there's no such thing as an education system. It's just information being passed on to children to train them to become workers.
Absolutely.
There is no such thing as an education system. There's not.
Yeah. When I finished my grade 12 back in 2014, my English teacher, she took me aside because I got a really good grade on my English and my writing. And she said to me, she says, "Are you going to continue with your writing?" And I said, "Oh, absolutely. But that's really not what I want to teach. Like eventually do is not just write." I said, "I want to teach love." And she said to me, "Then you should." And that has been my inspiration from that time, as I was going through my journey of self-discovery and growth, that teaching love is paramount to being human.
Exactly. And I was actually going to ask that. What did you actually want to be when you were growing up?
Well, when I was a teenager, I wanted to be a veterinarian or flight attendant.
Fair enough. We've all got our visions. We all do. But I don't have enough hands to count how many times we've changed our mind.
Oh, yeah.
So
but that wasn't meant to be, though.
No, it wasn't. Patty Smith said our educational organizations are extensions of the Industrial Revolution, spitting out factory workers. I think we need an update.
Yeah, she summed it up perfectly. Yeah.
Basically, adding to what Lisa just said. But anyway, move on from education. It's not important.
No.
Only with ourselves. But that's where I come to. You mentioned mental health. So we all know what it is, but what does it actually mean to you when you hear the phrase mental health? What comes to you?
Mental health to me means daily self-care. I, through my journey, has been all about the moment I was diagnosed, which was way back in 2010, with PTSD. Yeah, it hasn't been that long since I've been changing.
12 years, yeah.
Yeah, that was the first crash I had, my major mental health breakdown.
Okay.
And from that moment, and when my doctor diagnosed me and he put me on antidepressants, it was like, I just want to be happy.
Yeah.
So not understanding anything, like I had no clue what good mental health looked like, So first thing that I thought was, well, I need therapy. And like every cell of my body, that now that I've studied a lot about the body, the mind, the soul, it was totally crushed under poor mental health.
Yeah.
So daily self-care is what keeps me happy, sane, able to work, able to love others, love myself, love the environment. And it's my passion. It's absolutely everything I do. Every breath I take, I'm aware of, because if I'm not self-aware of loving myself, then I fall back into despair and old memories that trigger things, and it just becomes a big snowball. So it's recognizing that I have to love myself every day and manage my behavior and my thoughts and my actions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, believe it or not, I only actually came to light that mental health actually existed 6 years ago.
Yeah.
6 years ago. 6, maybe 7 years ago. But I was actually diagnosed with depression, anxiety, and PTSD in 2008. But I didn't know that until I actually grew up.
Yeah. We don't teach this stuff. We don't.
No, we don't.
Just to go back a little bit into the educational system. I remember we had sex ed, but
we still do.
Yeah, but self-ed, you could call it self-love ed. It would have been paramount for me. I would have started questioning things that were happening around me then instead of 40 years later.
Exactly.
Right? I would have had some education as to what is mental health. I think today in schools, because the stigma is slowly being eroded from people's minds, and we're talking about it with candor and unashamed conversations with love and compassion, that those conversations are having a snowball effect on our youth. Our youth of today are more aware of mental health than ever before. Right?
I agree.
And adults today have the beautiful responsibility of talking to our youth about mental health. One of my coloring books itself is the youth edition, and it's all about loving yourself and affirmations about being strong and being worthy and, building something, letting yourself be a creator to heal your mental health.
Exactly. And I keep hearing the phrase, change mental illness and take the IL, and I think it's another L or something like that. No, take the I and put well on it.
Yes, mental wellness.
Exactly.
Yes. Promoting mental wellness is absolutely important. Elizabeth says here we need mental health classes, and I totally agree.
We're totally,
Well, and there's going to be somebody who's going to advocate for that someday.
the mental health warriors.
Yeah. It should be in Canada and the United States, everywhere. It should be.
It is. And this is why we created this platform, because we're not just UK based. We are a national organization. We're global, because that's where the stigma is. It's global.
Yes.
And it needs to change.
And what we're talking about is going to have a ripple effect for so many people.
I agree. And this is why people need to share this. What was your response to going back to the PTSD diagnosis? What was your response when your doctor said, Annette, you've got PTSD?
What was my response?
Yeah.
Geez. Well, my first response was fear. Because I had no clue what it meant. And my doctor was of old school, where it's like, here's a prescription, take these antidepressants, but left me with nothing else, right? He did his best, right, to help me. But then after the fear wore off, it turned into depression. So my reaction was more depression. But then there was also that big aha moment where it was, well, what are you going to do about this?
Exactly.
And do you want to stay like this? And what do you want for your future? So a lot of questions came up. So my initial reaction was fear, because, of course, he was asking me if I was suicidal. And I knew what that meant. He was going to put me in the hospital, and there was no way I was going into a hospital. And so initial fear, then self-reflection, right? Yeah. Because most of what I went through from the past, I'd been carrying around as blame, guilt, and shame.
Yeah.
Incest survivors hide. Well, in my experience, I hid from the world. I hid from myself. I hid from God. And it was a total, the best saying a lot of us say is peeling back the layers of the onion. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So when you have a trauma from your past and it's so buried, it's difficult to know where to start. So
do you not think, and obviously this ain't a slating at doctors, because there are some good doctors out there, but do you not think doctors, when they, obviously they've got that lack of understanding when it comes to mental health anyway, but do you not think they diagnose someone with whatever it is, depression, trauma, whatever, and then they say, right, that's it. But if you ask for help, they take the easy option and pump you with medication instead of offering support.
Yeah, you know what? The medication helped, but it also kind of, for me, antidepressants, I don't ever say that modern medicine is wrong or bad for someone, because God, it's helped a lot of people survive.
Absolutely, yeah.
But for me, I knew in my heart, like the moment I had my first awakening, that I had to take responsibility for my life and stop being so afraid of everything I was experiencing. Yeah. And I knew that I didn't want to be on antidepressants for the rest of my life. I'm not saying that maybe it is helpful for some people and they have to be on it for the rest of their life. But I knew personally that I wasn't going to be on it. There was something deeper for me. There was I needed clarity. I needed my brain to be free of everything, including an antidepressant. Right?
As Elizabeth said, it numbs the mind.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it was like I was always lethargic and I was also going through therapy. I decided to get into sexual abuse counseling. And I think it numbed the feelings that I needed to feel to get through that. But it also slowed me down. So maybe that was a good thing, because I have a habit of, part of my PTSD is to get myself over anxious, like to get too much on my plate. And slowing me down was necessary in order for me to heal.
Well, either way, whatever you've been diagnosed with, I don't see PTSD, depression, whatever. I see Annette Chiappe. That's what I see. Because any day, and this is for everyone. It doesn't matter what you're diagnosed with, from a disability, from like autism, ADHD, or even fibro. It does not change your identity. You weren't born with this label.
Yeah.
You was not
That's
born.
absolutely not who we are.
No, it isn't. So I want to talk now about you first becoming a mother.
That is the happiest time of my life.
But the question is, from your childhood to when you was, because it was practically traumatic, did you not have that little bit of anxiety to think, how am I going to treat my child?
Oh my God. That is, we always talk about how our experiences make us who we are today. My experiences of lack of love from abuse from everyone that was in my childhood. And having a child meant that I got to give that to them, give them the attention they needed, give them the love and protection they needed. That absolutely was 100% true. Unfortunately for me, I married a gentleman who I did not know at the time had also been sexually abused. And his traumas multiplied with my traumas turned into a bomb. And I was separated, estranged from my children for over 20 plus years. So that added to my traumas. So everything I had made my life about, raising my children, loving my children, it was stripped from me. And not knowing at the time that if I had been diagnosed before I had my children, maybe I would have been able to understand a little bit about why my ex-husband was so abusive. But not knowing that, not understanding human mental health and how to get well, and then having additional traumas on top of it by being separated from my children. It was a nightmare. And today I'm happily reunited with my children. All three of them are here back in Canada. And I devote my life to educating them about their mental health. They, of course, have traumas of their own from our separation, from being raised by their father. But I get to love them with all my wellness because of what I've been through and what I did to self-love myself. Right? They get to see it was what kept me alive to get better. That was the catalyst that pushed me into self-love. Because if I couldn't love myself, how am I supposed to love others and love them? So the traumas I endured and the bond I have with my three adult children feels like nothing beyond comparison to, I can't even explain the joy I feel when I see them and when I talk to them and I hear their sorrows and their pains, right? Because I have that awareness, because I see myself in each of them and can listen with a genuine heart that they're in pain and they're suffering, and let me listen. Let me be a guide of wisdom for them.
Absolutely. What I'm going to do, because obviously people say this is a safe space, which I highly recommend it is. I'm going to jump off. I'm going to give you the platform, and I want you to basically say how you feel. If those people are watching that abused you growing up, what bit of feedback would you actually give them? That's what I'm going to do.
I like that. Oh, goodness. Geez. I love you. Even though there were, oh God, this is tough. Talking to the people who hurt me I did that in therapy, and I want you to know that I forgave each and every one of you. And you all made me stronger, because I can now see the suffering that you endured from your traumas. I know each and every one of your stories, and I suspect that you loved me the best you could, the way you did. And I'm grateful for the experiences I had with you. And I'm just so happy I was able to forgive myself and forgive you. And I'm truly happy now. And I hope you are too. And I bless you from the bottom of my heart. And that's about all I could say, I guess.
Wow. How do you feel?
You know, if my brother was watching today, I could tell you, he's reached out to me several times to reconnect with me. But I learned through my therapy that if you're going to close a door and you want to leave it shut, that's okay.
Yeah.
So I choose not to be in a relationship with my brother. And it feels good to publicly say those things, because oh my God, that's empowering. It's so empowering to, oh God, that is like, I might have a good cry after we get off here.
That's okay. Hey, that's okay. You won't be the first to cry online. Don't worry.
Oh God. But it shows how strong, how much mental wellness I have now. I could literally say that I have crossed over from mental illness to mental wellness.
And we're all proud of you for that.
Thank you. It feels amazing. I have joy in my heart. My transformational coach, she has me ring here. I'll show it to you.
Yeah.
Every success I have for my mental wellness, to acknowledge myself that I've had a success, I ring it. Or I can't do it with my hand in it. And that's a success. That is a huge success. And thank you so much for allowing me to do that.
Absolutely. That's what we're here for. We're here to help. But yeah, let's talk about your books.
Oh, my books.
Yeah. Now, obviously, before we find out what they are, what empowered you and inspired you to start journaling and saying, right, I'm going to write a book?
Oh, you know, it's always been my passion, one soul at a time, to help people with mental health, with PTSD, with incest, with low self-esteem, whatever the case may be, right? And I wanted to get my messages out there. So as I was going through my healing, I learned it's very, very key to your mental wellness to give. And I gave. So what I would do is I would go out and write slips of paper and draw a little picture, and I'd stick it on people's windshields, right? Or I would walk up to strangers and I'd hand them a rose and say, I love you. So I kept giving and giving and giving, and I kept receiving, of course. That's the law of the universe.
Yeah.
And so I joined this group, Barry Spirituality Meetup, and the woman who hosted, we would talk all about spirituality and our wellness and our mental health. And I came up with this idea because I was coloring at the time for my own mental wellness and other people's books. And I wanted to take my colorings because people said, oh, those are so beautiful. And I wanted to share with the world my art and something that would say, I'm a mental health survivor. I survived this. And on the back of your t-shirt, you put as long or short a story as you wanted.
Yeah.
Well, I used to have a life as a paralegal and I knew copyright. So I wanted to get permission to take the art that I did from people's other coloring books and put it on the t-shirts. So I wasn't infringing on any copyright.
Yeah.
And I wrote them and nobody got back to me. And I sat down with myself one day and I said, well, I can do this. And Adam, literally, I put pen to paper and the stuff started pouring out of me. And repressed memories, bad and good, came out of me. And this was the biggest repressed memory of something that I love to do. And that was doodling. And my doodles kept coming. And then my inspirational messages in the book are all about little pieces of me and stories behind my journey. And I wanted to share that with people. And then I also wanted people to be involved in being their own creator. So I put a section in the back of the book that has partially drawn doodles, and you can draw within the doodle and then color your own design.
Wow.
And it explains it. It's exploratory and techniques. And I just mentioned about don't fear what you're doing. Just keep doing it. Your mistakes are your teachers. And I just expand on how to use pencils and crayons and just make it whatever you want to make it. Right?
Where can we find these books?
Oh, they're on Amazon. I have them in stores across Clearview. I have sent some to some contacts I have in Israel, a woman that follows me. There's another lady in England who actually has my books. And my dream is to have them international and in different languages. I'll mail them anywhere. Like I personally print off hundreds of them every year. And I talk to people on the street and I go, how's your mental wellness? Would you like a book? Here's where you can find me. Do you need to talk? Right? Because I do all my workshops on self-love. Mm-hmm. So part of the self-work part of my talks of mentoring on self-love is including creativity through using the books or your own craft that you love.
Wow.
Yeah.
I need to get one of these books.
Oh, absolutely. I'm more than happy to ship you one, and or you can order them on Amazon. There's only the 3 on Amazon. My youth one I haven't uploaded it on there yet, but I will be this year. I have to get around to doing that.
I'll be in touch.
I can show you them.
Yeah, please do.
If you can see them, they're behind me here. Right? Yeah. So, whoops. This is volume 1. Right?
Oh, wow.
This is called Love. This is volume 2. This is kindness, and it's all about being kind to the planet, to ourselves, to nature. This is volume 3. This is compassion.
Oh, wow.
All right. And this is the youth edition, where it has simplistic messages for use. It's more for people, for children between 7 and 12, but anybody can color it. And the inspirational messages inside, right? So this one says, being grateful feels wonderful, right? And you can color that page. And this is and then it has on the next page, it has a drawing, like talking about pineapples. Look. It's a pineapple.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So this is my passion. My passion is to help people through mindfulness, through inner peace messages, to heal, get well, self-care, self-love, And I have coloring cards as well.
Even better.
And the coloring cards themselves, like this one here, this is compassion. I don't think you can see it through the plastic sleeve, but this came out from the idea of the messages I was leaving on windshields. So I wanted for people to be able to promote that they're loved, right? So sending messages to people that they're loved. And so there's a coloring page inside.
Oh.
Right. And then there's a beautiful message that I wrote from my heart, all about being compassionate to yourself.
I love that. I really do.
Oh, and now I'm coming out with a coloring calendar, and it's going to feature my clients coloring with additional pages to color.
Ah.
And that's coming out in 2023.
There you go. And there's me going to ask you, so what is your purpose in life?
My purpose in life is always to just do self-care and help people with self-care. You know, focusing on teaching people loving themselves, knowing that they're not alone in their struggles. So my purpose every day when I wake up is, number one, my own self-care. Number two is giving to others and being of service to others about self-care. You know, yeah.
Beautiful. Right. Is there anything last you want to give to people?
Oh my God. Well, you can, I do have a small giveaway if somebody's interested.
Oh, go on.
But if you go to my webpage and subscribe to add you, so I can add you to my email mailing list, I will give you a free 20-minute consultation about self-love. And I'm more than happy to just chat with you, listen to your concerns, give you some direction. And, you know, if you're interested, I'll tell you about steps that you can do for daily management of your mental health wellness. We're going to switch it from illness to wellness.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm more than happy to help them. I have a raffle on as well. I do fundraisers. So my fundraisers are where people donate stuff to me free. And I have these spring and summer, end of summer fundraisers for the Canadian Mental Health Association. And the stuff that's donated to me, I give 100% of those sales, that money, to the Canadian Mental Health Association.
Wow.
And last year alone, like I started out in 2019 raising money for them from just 10% of the sales of my books. This year, I've raised it to $2 a book I'm donating, and $1 from the cards. So when I began my fundraisers, I started out giving $34.70. Last year, from all the things I did, I raised over $1,300.
Wow.
So every year I make myself a goal. Every year I far surpassed it. And this year my plan is to double what I made this year. So, you know, I'm hoping by helping people be more aware, like I promote love, kindness, and compassion. And that is, for me, the key to our mental wellness.
Brilliant.
And raising money for the Canadian Mental Health Association, my books keep on giving. What I do keeps on giving. And I can't express how much that makes me happy.
So, guys, ladies, get purchasing. That's what we should say. Get purchasing the next box.
Yeah.
So, where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook. Just look up Learned to Love Myself. I also have another page called A Mental Health Break with Annette Chiappe. And but my main page is Learn to Love Myself. I'm also have a web page besides the Facebook, which is learntolovemyself.ca. So www.learntolovemyself.ca. You can reach me by email as well, same, learntolovemyself@gmail.com. And I'm on Twitter, Instagram. I could post everything here if you like. Or you can just click on the links on my webpage. You can find me that way.
There you go.
Yeah. Right. Very happy to ship my books anywhere. I have no hesitation if somebody wants a book and they can't get it off of Amazon. More than happy to ship it.
Right. All I can say, Annette, is you've been an absolute star.
Thank you.
We're proud of everything you're doing and gonna complete in future. So thanks for coming on.
Oh, thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. Thank you to everyone that's tuning in to right now and on the replay. And all I've got to say is thank you and congratulations to Ben Chai for actually connecting us.
Yes.
Yeah, Ben Chai. So big shout out to him. Congrats on him reaching #1 as well with his download. And all I've got to say is, for a bit of housekeeping, go get a cuppa, go and get some grub if you have to, because in 40 minutes from now, I am back live again, where there's just going to be 3 of us, where I'm going to be tuning in for Warriors of Attraction with Anthea, the Abundance Warrior, and we're going to tune in with Kate May, and we're going to have a little bit of a discussion. That's all I'm going to say. So there you go. So I'm going to sign off now, and please share this in awareness. So cheerio.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.